a university student at Wilfrid Laurier in Waterloo, and she's going to talk to us about the time that she felt she forgot an envelope back.
Last week I had this fear of getting up here and fainting again, which is how I got my first brain injury. And I was talking with Tracy earlier, and I realized that if I was going to do it again in a room full of neuroscience specialists, that would be the best place to do it. So there's an opportunity. Anyways, my name is Katelyn. I'm 22 years old, and this is my story of how I survived an epidural hematoma. So this is a picture of me and my 4 roommates. We were entering our 4th and what would be final year at school last September. I was studying history, or I am studying history. Me and Matt and Alana on the end were already making plans for this coming year to all go to the same post-grad school and get a house downtown Toronto. And, we were planning for the future. So what happened in the next couple weeks was not at all what I was planning. September 24th rolled around, and my friend Rory texted me saying that he was going to go get his nipple pierced. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll come. I hadn't gotten a piercing in a while, and I have 3 tattoos and 7 piercings. And the shop that he was going to is the shop that I got my last tattoo at, so it was nothing out of the ordinary. So I show up, and me and Michelle, another girl that went, were with Rory, and the girl at the place had convinced me not to get the piercing on my ear that I wanted to get. So me and Michelle were just waiting around, waiting for Rory to get pierced. And he was about from me to the lady in the brown jacket. His back was towards me, towards me. So I no needles, no piercings, no blood, anything. But we knew he was getting pierced because we saw the piercer put it through the nipple. And then that's the last thing I remember. I had a water bottle in my hand, Michelle said. I walked backwards a bit and dropped it, and then fell right back onto the tile. She said it was like the ST commercial where they just plunge right backwards. My legs didn't cripple or anything. Rory actually said it sounded like someone had dropped a metal tray of plates because it was such a bang. And his first thought was that I just tripped over the carpet and was being clumsy, which I would happen too. So I kind of wish it wasn't the first one. But anyway, so I was a bit unconscious. My head was bleeding, and no one thought anything big of it. I was awake, but I was bleeding a lot. I actually had a big little skull fracture, so my ear was bleeding really heavily. So they took me to the hospital, the Grand River Hospital in Waterloo. And because I don't remember the next week and a half of this, I'm going to tell it through quotes from everyone who was there. So Rory, my friends who visited me in the hospital, my parents, things like that. So as Rory says, while we were waiting in the ER, the paramedic left and told me to keep her lying down on the stretcher. I knew something was a bit more wrong because she kept trying to get out and walk away, constantly saying, I just need to go home. And that's very not like me. I get a paper cut and freak out and put polysport on it, so if I'm in the hospital with my head bleeding, I'm not gonna get up and walk away. So Rory had called my parents. They were out to dinner with some friends, and he said, don't worry about anything, just get here when you can. But we realized things were more serious when they showed up. A nurse was waiting for my mom at the emergency doors, which my mom, also being a nurse, knew that that's not really something that you do commonly. So they were a bit worried, and as Rory says, when they showed up, I knew things were bad because she did not remember who either of her parents were. The doctors would say, who is this? And she would reply, I don't know, a nurse. And my mom also says, the nurse said, Katelyn, your mom is here, and he looked right at me and said, that's not my mom. So that was obviously really heartbreaking for them because normally you recognize your parents. So that's when they realized that something was I was getting a CT You were a lot more confused and scattered, and now looking back on it, I realized that probably because you don't remember the incident at all, itself, at the time you did not seem aware of the severity. And my friend Dave Junko, being a brilliant person, asked what had happened. You told us the story with many great studio distractions from your phone. You kept forgetting where you were in your story and often had to be reminded. You chatted for a bit, but you kept closing your eyes because the lights were too bright. This is a picture of me. This was the day before things escalated and got really serious. My dad calls this my EITCH picture because apparently I was really irrational, aggressive. It was behavior that I'd never exhibited before, and they actually had planned to release me a couple days earlier, but my mom convinced them to keep me in the hospital for a few more days just because I was acting so unnormal, and it was obvious that something wasn't clicking in my head. So on Saturday, things took a turn for the worse. My mom says you were staring at me. You were in horrible pain. The nurse suggested that maybe it would be good to take a break before me and your father went home. I called back around 9 p.m. to check to see how you were doing, and they said you were just supposed to call me. We had had a seizure and were on. When I arrived, you were being moved to the ICU and had gone for a CAT scan, which it did. The pressure was worsening. You were then taken into emergency surgery. So eventually, Dr. Wells, the doctor at Charles General, came out and informed us that they had taken a portion of your skull out to release the pressure of your swollen brain, and you are now in a medically induced coma. So I was in a coma for about 3 days. The next morning, my mom came back and had asked my mom and my dad to ask me to meet, but my ICP had greatly elevated and I needed an emergency CAT scan. My dad and I watched as we were rushed by us. There were 6 people around you. You were getting bagged. You had all these phone numbers and IVs. You were so pale. That's when we broke down. The nurse quickly said that things had gotten serious and that we might want to get our sister to the hospital. So, fortunately, the CAT scan showed that there was no further bleeding and I had stabilized. So, there was a few more days when I was still in the coma and they just let me get my strength back and recover. When it was realized the severity of my injury, that it wasn't just a fall in the head, my friend Ashley actually created a group on Facebook to keep everyone aware of what was going on. And I don't like how dependent our generation has become on social media, and myself included, but in this instance, I'm really grateful for it because my friend Ashley lives in Michigan, my friends who live in Washington, my aunt and uncle who lived in Halifax, they were able to all come together in this communal place and share stories and memories with my parents and my sister, and it really supported them in the time they needed it the most. So I was in a coma for about 3 days. I had stabilized and my parents were able to come see me. I had an arterial line in my right wrist, a central line in my neck, and an IV on my left arm. So my mom says the following day I went in the morning and it was wonderful. I was greeted by a nurse who was excited because throughout the night they had started taking you off sedation. You were still restrained, but you pointed to a piece of paper and asked where your parents were and when they happened. They put the feeding tube in because you had lost about 11 pounds. So this is when my memory begins to return. It's consistent. It's still hazy and unfocused, but it's my memories, fortunately. So these are some pictures of me when I was in a coma. I actually have some scars on my neck still from the line. Luckily, my Minnie Mouse was there to keep me warm. I've had that since I was a baby, so I'm pretty sure it was her who kept me good. And Rory was able to come for them, but I didn't have any strength, so I wasn't able to get them out. And eventually the feeding tube did come out, and then the breathing tube as well. But I felt helpless, but the worst was over, right? So I could only look up from here. My whole body was really swollen. I couldn't talk because of the tubes, so I communicated by writing on paper. I actually kept the papers and made a scrapbook of everything after the fact, and I don't understand how people understood what I was writing, because what I was writing was not coherent, and I don't even think I was spelling stuff right, but it was something. So as my mom made Facebook posts in the group. So I'm breathing 99% on my own. This is a picture of me writing, so you can see the feeding tubes out, I think. And then this is when they both come out. I remember my mom, Katelyn, you gotta take the picture, And I was like, really, Mom? Like, in this state, you want me to take a picture? But she took a picture and she put it on Facebook, and luckily I have these pictures now, so I can use them. So it's a forced smile, but it's better than nothing, right? So my arterial line is out, which is good news because it meant I was stabilizing. I spent about 3 or 4 more days in the ICU after I woke up. I still had my brain drain in my head. I'm not sure of medical terminology for that, but I know it was helping me, so I'm just going to call it a brain drain. I wasn't having visitors yet just because I was still really tired and weak, but those visits were coming, thankfully. And I was then moved to the 7th floor, which was awesome, which I was out of the ICU and on the right track. I was getting blood thinners in my tummy twice a day, and then I was on Dilantin and T3s every 4 hours. I stayed on the Dilantin until about February, when the neurologist started weaning me off of it. And then I just stopped taking the pain meds after I got out of the hospital because I don't really like meds, and I just kind of dealt with it. So as Becky says, over Thanksgiving we went to the hospital. She was so weak, she was seeing double, and I felt bad sitting in front of her. Too many of us to handle. Also, her filter was officially gone. I was spilling secrets left, right, and center. Secrets that shouldn't have been spilled, but what I'm going to do, that's what good drugs at the hospital do for you, I guess. And as for the recounts, when you got up to go to the other room, you took a few steps and got unsteady, looking like you might fall. You used me to steady yourself and holding your arm. You slowly made it to the other room. And my other roommate, Danielle, visited. The whole time you were in your room, it was really hard for you to make eye contact, and you asked me how many pumpkins I brought because you said you was eating 5, and she had only brought 1. You were so spacey and your eyes were crossing sometimes, and you were trying to untangle your hair the whole time. So, and my eyes that's still the biggest, that and my headaches are the thing I struggle with most right now. When I was in the hospital, I was seeing double, triple, some days I couldn't even see. It was painful, but I was told that it was because my brain was still a little bit swollen, so it was pushing on the front of my face, so it was making me a little bit disoriented, but oh well. So as my mom said, the brain tube came out. I was down to 1 IV. I was eating. And then this is a funny story. So Brittany and Becky came to visit, and Britt's sitting at the end of my bed, and this was about a few hours after I got the drain taken out. We were having a conversation, and all of a sudden something starts dripping down my face. And me and Brittany look at each other, and she says to me afterwards, she's like, "You were so calm and casual about it. I asked you what it was, and you said, my brain's leaking." Like, okay, your brain can't be leaking. I'm like, no, it's just leaking. And I was so cool about it, and I got a stitch in. Julie was actually there for that. She held my hand while I got one quick stitch in. My mom wasn't able to stay for that because being a nurse, but being a mom first, she couldn't handle. I'm just gonna not touch this. She couldn't handle seeing me in pain for 2 seconds, so Julie stayed in and held my hand and saved my brain from dripping down my forehead. So this was between the coma and recovery and not being able to shower, that just kind of left a ball of untangled, really messy hair there. So me and my mom just decided it would be best to cut it off and deal with it when I got home. I actually ended up just shaving the whole area where my incision was and let my hair grow back. So now it's awkward, like with my hair being curly, it kind of just sticks out, but it's hair, right? There's one part on my incision that doesn't grow back. It was when it was, you can see in this picture, that was, oh wait, no, this is my stitches. I didn't do that. So there's one part that doesn't grow back because it was really scabby. And that was what I struggled with the most when my hair did start growing back and when I went back to school and I got back into my daily life, was that when I would say things like my head hurts, my eyes hurt, I'm not feeling well, it was hard for people to interpret that as something serious because I didn't have any physical limitations besides the weight that I had lost, and even then I've always been a relatively small person, so it wasn't that bad. So that was my biggest struggle, was just trying to get across that I was still in a lot of pain and I was still suffering, and it just was hard to reiterate that to people because I'm so fortunate that I didn't come out with it with any more limitations to my speech, to my walk, to talk, to anything, but it was still hard to because normally when you think about brain injuries, especially ones that happen instantly, you think of hockey players or people who race cars. Like, you don't think of a 22-year-old girl and a tattoo parlor, so that was a stereotype that I had with. But luckily, it's not that. My friends now go out to the bars at night and hit 12, and I gotta go home, guys. I'm gonna fall asleep on the bar. So you let me go home, or you let me sleep on the bar. Which thankfully they let me go home. So the next part was getting my stitches out, which really hurt. Luckily, when I got my skull back in a couple months later, they used staples, so they didn't use stitches, but the stitches, they hurt. It took 45 minutes, 2 nurses, and 2 breaks for puking, but I made it through. And as you can see right there, that's where the hair didn't grow back because it was really scabbed up. But that's alright. They actually used the same incision when they put the skull back in, so I have minimal scar, which is great. And then finally, October 9th came and I was discharged. I remember being really antsy to this point. I was getting really impatient and bored in the hospital. My back was in a lot of pain too because hospital beds aren't the most comfy. But we went back to stay with my grandma, who actually lives in Hamilton, so my mom was staying with her for both the course of me being in the hospital. I slept for 12 hours straight because, as most of you know, restful nights on the neural ward is not something you come across very often. So I was awake a lot of the nights. Nurses would come in and play cards with me at 4 in the morning just because I wasn't getting any sleep because there were noises and it was not restful. But I was appreciative of the nurses who did to do that. I'm sure it wasn't horribly boring for them either. It's hard to sort of do what they went to school to do, but oh well. And then so the next month I spent at home all of October. I eventually started to feel better and I wanted to get back to school. I wanted to go back and try and fail than not try at all. A lot of people encouraged me to just take the full semester off, but I was at home, I was eating, I was getting rest, I was getting my strength back, and it was my final year. I wanted to at least try, and I got 2 out of the 3 courses that I went back on. I went down to Waterloo one afternoon and met with my profs individually, and they all agreed to accommodate me. Like, I would write my exams later in the year
was able to go back to school, so Halloween came around, and my mom sent me back with 2 pages of written notes about what had happened to me that I was to distribute to the friends around me, so in case something happened, in case I fell on the sidewalk or something, they would have everything that had happened to me right there with them. This was after she made me go to the mall with her and get a medical alert bracelet that said partial right skull missing. So that was fun to wear. Especially when people ask me what I was allergic to, and I'm like, I'm not allergic to anything, I'm just missing part of my skull. But I was able to get back to work. I actually worked at my school newspaper, the Board, and I was able to do a feature piece on what had happened. This was a really good opportunity for me because I was able to write down everything and just distribute it to everyone, as opposed to everyone every day getting, oh, are you okay? What happened? What happened? It was just my way of just, here's my story, read it, and stop asking me questions. Not that I wasn't grateful for the questions, because I was, but it got to a point where there were questions after questions. This actually got shared on Facebook over 800 times. So it was awesome. This is a picture of my post-surgery. You can still see that my brain is pretty swollen. It looks like it's coming out of my skull, and I know that's not possible, but it was a little bit swollen. When I got back to school, I signed up for Accessible Learning, which is a resource on campus. They allotted me more time for my exams, quiet study spaces to work, which was really nice. One of the challenges I did have was I didn't get a follow-up from the hospital. I was told, I was advised when I left by the occupational therapist that someone from my community, so from Waterloo, would reach me and offer me the resources in my town, because the hospital knew I was going back to school. But I never got any contact from anyone, and fortunately with my mom being a nurse, she encouraged me to go out and get it on my own, so I contacted a rehab place in Kitchener, and they set me up with an OT and an outreach worker. So if I do have one suggestion from this whole thing, it's that to make sure that a follow-up like that is followed through, just because I couldn't imagine not. I really worked a lot with my occupational therapist and outreach worker all through second semester, and they really helped me out with my eyes and my schoolwork. So I really benefited from it. So I would hate for someone, for people to not get that kind of support from their community, because it's everywhere. I talked to a bunch of people for my article in Durham and in Toronto, told me to go away in the summer, which I was thankful for because that meant he didn't want to see me ever again. And my license went under review from the Ministry of Transportation because I had a seizure. But I actually just got a letter last week that officially closed my case, so I'm back to driving again. Even though the exhaust fell off of my car last night, so that was fun.